Hi, my name is John Hench. I'm with Mount Wachusett Community College. Welcome to our presentation. The title of our presentation is Improving Quality Management Through Workforce Training and Development. I'll be speaking at the beginning, and Farhana Promo will come in towards the end, halfway through. We're talking about quality management systems and training to improve the workforce. Quality management systems help an industry or organization that provides a product and or service meet customer and regulatory expectations. It requires training of employees at all levels of an organization and our continuous improvement processes. So an ongoing effort to continue to improve, just as we do with our lifelong learning. So developing the quality programs really begins with identifying the local need and the partners. We need to survey the need in terms of skill levels, content, etc. What do the people need to know? And we need to work with the employers to determine what and how many jobs are available and what are the needs of skill levels for those jobs. So the partners are all throughout the region, including the workforce system, the Mass Hire Workforce Board, the Chambers of Commerce, who represent the different employers throughout the region, and directly working with employers to help us fill advisory boards, industry advisory boards, where they can help us understand the needs. They can provide access to work-based experience opportunities for some of our candidates, and hiring and interviewing of participants is obviously a critical need in the goal of our programming. So the local economic conditions really impact the scope of the training to be provided. And this is influenced both by the available potential workforce and the employer demand. Quality training can be a component of an entry-level or middle skills training program, or as a standalone program focused on specific quality roles in an organization. Some examples of how the economics have affected the training availability and the programs we've offered include like the Great Recession, where the high unemployment rate included many with skills who could transition into new careers. These career changers needed broad programming to address new career pathways. So how do you transfer skills? How do you connect to an industry? And in this instance, we were fortunate to get grant funding to develop a biomanufacturing workforce training program that included quality as a major component of it. As we got into the economic recovery, we found more people had jobs, but there was still a demand for higher skilled jobs. So upskilling the incumbent workforce, and then also addressing the underemployed workforce needs, individuals who maybe were working multiple jobs or who had constraints on their schedule due to family obligations. So those types of challenges really required that we develop both entry-level position training and higher level skills training in quality. So developing and offering programs comes with a lot of challenges, including funding, of course. Developing curriculum is not inexpensive. Fortunately, now we have a lot of open educational resources that we can adapt, but it always takes tweaking. You always have to modify content to meet your individual program needs, and that comes through bringing in expertise. The training and the certification costs can be borne by an individual, but more likely than that, it's through the workforce system, through WIOA funding or other grant funding to help offset the cost of training for these non-credit training programs that are not Pell eligible. And when we're addressing a student base who have a variety of different barriers to getting training, we also have support costs in terms of reducing those barriers to, such as transportation. Fortunately, grant funding has been available. Investment by both the federal government and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has been critical for the development, implementation, and sustainability of our programming. But it's an ongoing challenge. Now we can have the greatest program in the world, but we've got to fill the seats. So identifying the participants is not an easy task. We have a broad population base, in our north central region of Massachusetts, not an urban area. We have some cities, we have a variety of different English language learners in addition to those who have needs skill attainment to get employment. We also have many who work part-time that are seeking training off hours, so scheduling challenges. We work closely with high schools. We have vocational high schools, comprehensive high schools who are partners with us to help identify appropriate pathways for their students. And then the adult education programs at the college, those who are seeking to get a high school credential, how do we build them up so that they're ready to take some of these more advanced training programs once they complete their high school equivalency. So a comprehensive approach really is necessary to develop pathways for participants of all levels. The training logistics include scheduling challenges. Obviously now we have COVID-19 concerns, and having good instructors available is also a challenge. It becomes a contract labor position similar to an adjunct faculty who might deliver a training program for 10 or 12 or 6 weeks. So keeping a good pool of qualified candidates is critical. So flexibility in scheduling is a really important parameter. When do you offer it? How is it presented? Where do you offer it? And now how much content of that is going to be offered remotely? And then, of course, the job placement is also part of our job. We need to help find pathways to employment for our participants. So we really have to work the employer and the workforce system partnerships regularly to find ways to get participants in front of employers so that they can get hired, or if they're in a position, identify that student as having the employer identify the candidate is also very important. So developing internships and job shadowing opportunities is important for those just entering the workforce. And we're also seeing some level of interest in registered apprenticeships related to quality training. And we'll speak about that a little bit in a minute. So the regular communication with employers is essential. So we've developed quality training as part of more of broader training or comprehensive programs. That includes the biomanufacturing workforce training program that I referenced earlier. That was developed in partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb as they were developing a biopharmaceutical plant at Devens, Massachusetts. That was a 220-hour program that had a pretty significant chunk of it related to quality, good manufacturing practices, FDA regulations, etc., but also had to address things like, working in a sterile environment, cell culture, downstream processing, etc., etc. So that was a very successful program, and that gave us the jump start to have some experience, have some curriculum that we could then modify and incorporate into other trainings. What we did next was we developed an industry readiness training, which was geared more towards an entry-level training to help people get into advanced manufacturing positions. That also was funded by the U.S. Department of Labor through the TACT grants. There was an entry-level job training program where we could get some fundamental skills, including workplace success skills, measurement skills, machine awareness, etc. And about 15 to 20 hours of that program was focused on quality. And that led to us further developing standalone training, the first approach being a quality systems training, a 40-hour training that aligned with the ASQ, American Society for Quality, Certified Quality Process Associate body of knowledge. We've relied on the ASQ as the industry standard for quality training. They have a comprehensive library of material and processes for getting certification. They have their own testing. When you work with them, you can do on-site examination for these certification exams following their rigorous protocols. And you can offer the different exams on your time frame if you have the sufficient headcount to warrant the exams. So the 40-hour quality systems training, we expanded on that to a quality technician training, which ranged from 100 to 140 hours, depending upon the different offerings. And that enabled students to pursue certification exams that aligned with their prior knowledge and experience, in addition to the content that we would deliver in the program. So that's a process, working with ASQ, working with the resumes of the students to identify what is the appropriate test for somebody, and then helping them prepare for that. There's a lot of test materials out there that we would work with the students after the completion of the training program in advance of the oncoming examination. We then moved on to a quality yellow belt training where we focused on that credential as we were working with the young adult population through a tech hire grant program. Students that had experience and had more background knowledge were able to pursue a green belt, higher level credential, and to be successful. We've done a lot of direct training with companies as well. We have a few examples to share with you on that. We'll start with the working with an OEM biomedical device manufacturer who uses injection molding of plastics to create components that are used in medical devices. They're now getting to the point where they're also incorporating the active ingredient. So they have a rigorous quality demands. This first foray, several years ago, we worked directly with the quality department from 2 shifts. So we would meet midday, 4 hours a week for 10 weeks, where the shift overlapped and now allowed people to make the training and then continue on or their workday or go home. Most had little formal quality training, but they had been placed in the role thanks to their work ethic, their ability to function, attention to detail, etc., all the things that we know are important for these positions. And through getting this formal training, it really empowered these employees to fulfill their quality mission. We did incorporate a lot of company-specific material. We got access to documentation through a non-disclosure agreement. We saw success in advancement of employees going forward and those seeking additional training as well down the road. So that was a good example of getting people into a training program that works for their job and helps them realize that they can do even more in the future. And that's something we take a lot of pride in. Another example, we had a biomedical equipment manufacturer making diagnostic test equipment. They selected candidates from 2 different plants for a registered apprenticeship training, specifically the 150 hours of related technical instruction for a 1-year apprenticeship opportunity. This followed our curriculum, but we were challenged by needing to spread it out over many months. So because of the scheduling demands, we didn't really have a continuity of training. We had to go on site for a longer period of time. And so it wasn't as good of a fit in terms of the scheduling. We did hear back that the hiring managers were very pleased with the increased job performance of the participants. However, the employees and HR were a little frustrated over the pass rate, which is about 50%. Which is not bad for a high quality exam like that put forth by ASQ. So we needed to do a better job of managing expectations. Most recently, we've been working with a biomedical equipment manufacturing who makes filtration systems for bioprocessing. Their quality department staff from multiple areas and shifts participated. Many of these had received quality training and education prior to this. We once again reviewed the company documentation processes to incorporate into the training, and we coordinated to develop a 15-week schedule utilizing 2 afternoons per week for the total of 120 hours. So, 8 hours a week. about mid-March, we were about 75% done when we had to pivot to all remote because of COVID-19 restrictions. This was a bioprocessing, medical device manufacturing plant, which shut right down in terms of access. And so fortunately, we were able to pivot to online and even do the certification exam at their site using their ASQ certified employees to proctor the exam. And so now we're reaching out to work with them further to see if we can go through another training cohort under the new paradigm. Also, I wanted to speak about our Workforce Training Fund programs. Commonwealth of Massachusetts provides funding to employers who can receive up to 50% of the cost of training based upon corporate needs analysis and quality, lean. All of those types of programs are in high demand. So there's a variety of different formats, programs available, and we have a group of people at the college who focus on that. So most recently, they've done some training for manufacturing companies, the banking industry, a transportation company. So it's a broad need. All organizations have some level of quality needs, whether they know it or not. So it's a great opportunity to help the regional workforce and something that we've look forward to continuing. So going forward, we're going to hear from Farhana, who is going to give an overview of the quality content.
Hi, I am Farhana Proma, an instructor and content developer at Mount Wachusett Community College. I will share with you my perspective, which is the perspective of an instructor on our quality training modules. At Mount Wachusett Community College Department of Workforce Development, we offer quality training in many different shapes and sizes. We offer training for quality yellow belt and green belt certifications accredited by American Society for Quality, otherwise known as ASQ. These are highly sought after credentials by employers from all over New England. We also offer training to prepare individuals for the daily or routine challenges in a quality environment or quality supporting roles in different industries. Other than that, our training also aims to include fundamental topics in Six Sigma, quality, and lean manufacturing to prepare employees so that they can work under the guidance of a quality expert, such as a quality green belt or a black belt. We also offer the basic concepts of lean quality and quality improvement to adult learners who are here to enhance their industry readiness. Finally, we provide knowledge base for industry-specific topics. These can be basic or advanced based on industry need. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the content that we have. The current content was developed by my esteemed colleague, Gretchen Ingvason, who is currently acting as a quality manager at Millipore. Gretchen prepared the content keeping ASQ certifications in mind. So the content that we now have is completely aligned with ASQ body of knowledge. As we know, there are different types of certifications that ASQ offers, such as quality white belt, yellow belt, green belt, certification for a quality technician, etc. Depending upon the depth of knowledge required, we vary the content and associated assignments, activities, homeworks, etc. Since I took over, additional materials have been added as per the need of the student cohorts. I add examples, videos, tasks, practice templates in order to clarify students' concepts. Since May of this year, we had to make a complete transition to online or remote classes due to the pandemic situation. And the current content is available for registered students only on Blackboard online learning platform. Now let me talk a little bit about the online transition that we had to make in light of COVID back in April, May. All the content was transformed into self-paced learning material on Blackboard online learning management system. The way we ran the class was we had all the material uploaded on Blackboard, which a student would be able to access for self-paced learning. In addition to that, there would be instructor-led learning and regular checkups via Zoom 1 or 2 times in a week. Lectures, which are mostly voice over PowerPoint, exercises, homework assignments, and practice tests were uploaded and paced by the instructor. We successfully completed our first cohort on the full online basis in May-June of 2020. Previously, our learning material were a mix of physical books and binders, PowerPoint slides, combined with classroom lectures, discussions, and activities. Since in-class lecture and activities are not possible now, we had to design replacement activities online to assist students learning in the same manner that a physical activity would. In many classes, I have used online assignments, videos of industry-specific topics, combined with comprehension questions, mini quizzes, and online discussions as remote tools to enhance learning experience. So what were the successes and what were the challenges of this online transition? The online course was successful because of the time flexibility that it offered. During this time of uncertainty, we understand that no one can commit pre-specified timeframes during the day to attend the class. Students liked the fact that the course could be completed at their own pace. All we needed from them was to complete the assignments and activities on a weekly basis. The material for the course was available online electronically in an electronic format. So if anyone wanted to access the material or save it on their computer, they could do that for future studies. Electronic materials were more practical to use from the perspective of saving and using them. The online content also included templates for charts and graphs, such as Pareto charts, histograms, etc. So the students could use those templates in the future for their own benefit. From the instructor's perspective, online content was easier to develop since there was no need of physically conducting an in-class activity. We were able to offer review of the content via Zoom so that students could ask questions, clear their confusions, and study for the exam more systematically. On the other hand, the challenges. The challenges lied mostly on the side of technology. Some adult learners had to face technological challenges either on the side of the equipment or skills. Progress tracking was another challenge due to the self-paced nature of the program. Not everyone was on the same chapter at the same time. Also, group activities and discussions were difficult to conduct and monitor. Since we did not have physical presence, live interactions were almost nil, and it was difficult to coordinate between the electronic materials and actual chapters or pages on the books. The types of quality training that we offer at MWCC Workforce Development are mostly quality yellow belt training, quality green belt training, training for quality technician. There's quality basics and intro level course. We also offer industry readiness training, which contains a portion of the quality content. We also offer custom quality training based on industry needs. I'll talk about that in a minute. If we talk specifically about the Six Sigma Yellow or Green Belt training, those trainings have one prime objective, and that objective is to help individuals pass the ASQ Yellow or Green Belt test. As we know, it is a credential that is highly commended by manufacturing industries. The content that we offer is divided into 4 modules as per the body of knowledge specified by ASQ. ASQ actually suggests 80 hours of study for yellow belts. At MWCC, we provide 120 hours of trainer-assisted content, including study materials, exercises, and practice tests. Content and training for the green belts are more in-depth and more technical. This is a synopsis of the types of certifications offered by ASQ and the potential career paths that one can choose when they obtain a certification. For example, a certified Six Sigma Yellow Belt, CSSYB at the bottom in green, may choose to move forward as a green belt or black belt. As I mentioned, the quality content is divided into 4 modules. Module 1 introduces the concepts of quality, customer, supplier, quality management systems, and principles. Module 2 introduces the Six Sigma methodology, fundamentals of measurement and analysis. Module 3 is more math-based. It revisits mathematical concepts and basic statistics to build on statistical process control methodologies. Module 4 introduces lean concepts and process validation. Lean Six Sigma, as we know, is a process improvement methodology. It's based on define, measure, analyze, improve, and control principles. So through our 4 modules, a continuous flow of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control methodology is created. It's also known as the DMAIC methodology. So through these 4 modules, we create a continuous flow of the tools and techniques that you need to apply the DMAIC methodology in your industry. This flowchart shows how we created that seamless flow of learning Six Sigma content. In Module 1, we start with the introductory parts: history of quality, definition of quality, customer, supplier, quality management systems, CAPA systems, etc. are discussed. Once you have that foundational knowledge, we move to specific Six Sigma topics such as defining a Six Sigma project, finding the root causes, measurement techniques, etc. These are crucial for the measure step in the Six Sigma. That's Module 2. In Module 3, we then move to the analyze phase, where we lay the foundation of statistical process control. This is where we review and strengthen math and statistics skills essential to analyze and understand the capability of the process. Finally, in Module 4, we introduce and elaborate on lean concepts, Lean Six Sigma concepts, which are tools and techniques to improve and control processes. We also provide knowledge on validation of processes at this stage. So next, I want to talk about the custom corporate programs that we offer. These are custom quality training for corporate organizations through various grants. The content is created according to the corporate customer's needs. The training is delivered according to a contractual agreement, which specifies the time, location, number of participants, the theme of the training, number of hours, etc. Sample training content may include quality concepts and tools, introduction about Six Sigma, lean manufacturing processes, continuous improvement, ergonomics, human factors, communication and leadership, etc. Recently, I delivered a custom training to one of our corporate clients at their location. The training was conducted in 2 sessions with 13 participants in each session, 26 in total. The duration was 4 hours. As per client request, the content was heavily based on the Plan, Do, Check, Act methodology, which was the continuous improvement philosophy. So the content included continuous improvement concepts and philosophies, concepts related to descriptive statistics and key performance indicators or KPIs, 7 tools of quality, and lean concepts and tools. Now, there are many success stories from our different quality cohorts. I would like to specifically mention 2 that I have personally encountered. The first one is a student from a cohort from our last winter class. Let's pretend that her name was Katrina. It's not the real name, obviously. When she started, she was unemployed. She highlighted the class on her resume and successfully obtained employment as a quality assurance specialist at a medical device manufacturing company. She got the job on week 2 of our training, but she still completed the full 6-week course and she passed the yellow belt exam. Her company was more than excited and they assisted her with the flexible schedule and they encouraged her without boundary. The second story that I'm going to talk about is from our most recent cohort, the online class that went on after the COVID. So let's pretend that her name was Jennifer. She learned about Six Sigma Project Charter in one of our classes, and then the next day she used it in her job. She received heavy accolades from her manager, and the company encouraged and funded her to go and get a Six Sigma Green Belt certification. That's a happy ending. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the quality programs here at Mount Wachusett Community College Workforce Development. On behalf of everyone in our team, I thank you again for your patient hearing, and I wish you health and safety. Goodbye.